Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. From a child to the age 14. Yeah. While I laid asleep, took my virginity. So scared to say something, so I just put the blame on me. Now here I am and I'm trying my best to be honest. Cause there's forces out there trying to keep me from being an artist. I admit I'm at rock bottom, and this shit has rocked my mind. I'm calling on my hood, come walk by my side. They don't want me to shine. Women's group, my God. Now don't get it twisted, I do support them, but why they wanna bring down the art? Damn, this is breaking my heart. Cause from fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, I'm a part of the music culture. Spotify took me off their playlist. I admit that I've been underrated. I'm not convicted, not arrested, but drag my name in the dirt. All this work to be what you heard. I admit I am not perfect. I never said I was perfect. Say I'm abusing these women. What the fuck, that's some absurd shit. They brainwashed, really? Kidnapped, really? Can't eat, really? Real talk, that shit sounds silly. And if you really, really wanna know, her father dropped her off in my show and told his boy to put her on the stage. I admit that she was overage. I admit that I was feeling her, and I admit that she was feeling me. I admit that that's just some shit that come with being a celebrity. I ain't chasing these ladies, no. These ladies are chasing me, yeah. No.
What's up, y'all? I'm back. You know what? Y'all share it out. Y'all go tell everybody. DanaJay here. He's back. Go let everybody know that I'm here. I'm back. Woo! Go get you an aloe drink. I just got a pineapple one. Oh my God, love it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about something, right? Called the R. Kelly update. And really, it's an update of what's going on. So, you go tell the folks to come on in. Come on in the room. Come on in. That's how you do it. Come on in the room. Come on in. Come on in the room. Oh yeah. Come on in. Hallelujah. Praise God. Come on in the Lord. Come on in. All you gotta do is just come on in the room. Come on. Alright. So, as y'all know, the trial's going on and this and this and this and this. I got 15 people watching. Oh my God, this is an all-time low for me. So, Where's everybody at? I ain't used to this. I'm not used to this. Wait a minute. Let me go ahead and send some stuff out. Hold on. Let me go and send some stuff out real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Let's do it like this. Come on in the room. Come on in. La 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 la. Because we got an update going on. Fanny Pack, what's up? What's up? Gotta speak to everybody from the Dream Team. What's going on, y'all? Y'all know the routine. If you want to donate to the page, hit the super chat at the bottom of the page. If you look up at the top of the live chat, y'all, that's called the tip jar. Also, my Cash App is $official DanaJay. I am asking for y'all to help me because I need y'all to donate to me so I can get to New York next week. My goal is $675. What do $675 cover? My flight and my hotel in New York for a week. Okay? So I'm asking y'all for help, if possible. You know what I'm saying? Put a tip jar, come directly to me, and so does the Cash App. After this week, or after next week from court, I will be leaving Cash App and going straight to ZELLE. I will be leaving Cash App and going straight to ZELLE. So, that's how we're going to do this thing, okay? Alright. Got 28 people in here. Let's go. I can go with that. Forget it. I can go with that. I can go with that. I can go with it. Let's go. First thing that was dropped was this right here. Make it bright so y'all can see. Nope. Right there. Okay. Alright. Honorable A&M Donnelly, Eastern District of New York, 225 Cademan Plaza East, Courtroom 4GN. Hold on, let me send this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold that thought, because we're going to go into it. Alright, let's go. Reason: United States versus Robert Cecil Kelly. Dear Judge Donnelly, we represent Victoria. Oh, okay. We represent Victoria Beckhambis, a freelance journalist who covers the court system, and Guardian News and Media LLC, The Guardian. Both Ms. Beckhambis and The Guardian are currently reporting on the trial of Robert Cecil Kelly, a.k.a. R. Kelly, in light of challenges posed by COVID-19. Your Honor has limited access to R. Kelly's trial to 2 overflow rooms that feature a live feed of the courtroom proceedings. Your Honor has observed that the feed in the overflow room will be in real time and that the district had preserved the right of access to criminal trials by establishing alternative ways to view the trial. While we hope that the court remains open to reconsidering permitting in-person attendance as the trial progresses, today we write on a separate but related matter: the right of access to judicial documents. Specifically access to evidence presented in open court on August the 20th, 2021 regarding R. Kelly's medical records. What? We appreciate that the court recognizes that members of the public have a qualified First Amendment right to access the trial exhibits. United States versus Ackhaven, number 20 CR 188. What? At Star 4, Southern District, New York, April 1st, 2021. Indeed, permitting access to trial exhibits electronically in this case is a necessary corollary of the capacity to attend the trial. United States versus Ackhaven again. Citation omitted. We understand that the court has therefore generally provided the press with electronic access to the R. Kelly trial exhibits, but our clients have not been provided with access to evidence of crucial significance, withholding access to the medical records presented in open court on August the 20th, 2021 runs counter to long-standing Second Circuit precedent finding that only the most extraordinary circumstances will justify restrictions on the opportunity of those not physically in attendance at the courtroom to see and hear the evidence. Application of National Broad Company Incorporated. Withholding access also ignores the significant public interest in affording the public the opportunity to see and hear evidence contemporaneously when, as here, public attention is alerted to the ongoing trial. ID, sincerely, Cornell Law School First Amendment Clinic by Heather E. Mary. What? Exhibit A. United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, 96. And what the heck? Excuse me. Adam Donnelly, United States District Court judge, before the court is a request by 12 media outlets, the press organization, that the circuit court that the court and permit a pool of 6 reporters to attend the trial in person in the actual courtroom. The press organizations acknowledge that they, as well as members of the public, will be able to view the proceedings from 2 overflow rooms, but argue that anything short of permitting their reporters to sit in the courtroom amounts to an impermissible closure. For the reasons that follow, the request is denied. The COVID-19 pandemic has posed unique challenges to the work of this court as it has to courts around the country. The Eastern District of New York has risen to their challenges, reassuming in-person proceedings, including trials, while taking steps to ensure that the safety of the public and courthouse personnel. After consultation with experts, the Chief Judge issues a series of administrative orders and implemented safety measures in the courthouse, including temperature checks, symptom screening, a mask requirement, and social distancing. Courtrooms have been reconfigured to meet the needs. As a consequence, jurors no longer sit in the jury box, as they did before the pandemic, but in the gallery, which previously was occupied by the public, including members of the press. Social distancing protocols require that the jurors be spaced out in the gallery, leaving no room for the public. It would be inappropriate to seat the jurors with the members of the public, including reporters, even if there were adequate space. That is especially true in this case, where the jury will be anonymous and partially sequestered. While the pandemic does not permit seating in the public, while the pandemic does not permit seating the public in the courtroom, the Eastern District has preserved the right of access to criminal trials by establishing alternative ways to view the trial. In this case, the court has established 2 overflow rooms, with monitors which will display a live video and audio feed of the proceeding. The press organizations argued that this arrangement is not satisfactory, citing technical glitches in other trials, or the possibility that a reporter might not be able to see the reactions of the defendant, witnesses, jurors, or the judge. But even a seat in the courtroom does not guarantee that there will be a technical problem, or that observers will have obstructive views of every participant in the trial. To the extent that this measure is a partial limit on public access, it is warranted by the Eastern District's overriding interest in ensuring public safety during a global health pandemic. Wait a minute. So why she want Robert's medical records to display? This not making sense to me. That's weird. They want his medical records to display it to the public. Why? Hit that like button, y'all. It's not making sense to me. But we not done. We not done. We going there today. It came out September the 4th, which was 2 days ago. And this one is lengthy. Five pages of reading. And guess who up for the challenge? Let's go. Dear Judge Donnelly, the government respectfully submits this letter seeking clarification of the court's ruling on the government's motion in limine with respect to Jane Doe number 7. Everybody know who that is. At the final pretrial conference, the court asked the government why it believed evidence related to Jane Doe number 7 should be admitted at trial, notwithstanding that it occurred in or about 1991. See transcript of August 3rd, 2021. Final pretrial conference at 12. The government responded as follows. Ms. Geddes, Your Honor, Jane Doe number 7 is prepared to testify that in light of her relationship with the defendant, which included the fact that they had sexual contact. Wait, Javante ain't never messed with Robert. Javante used to mess with one of the dudes from Public Announcement. Oh, see, here we go. It's about to make me mad. Your Honor, Jane Doe number 7 is prepared to testify that in light of her relationship with the defendant, which included the fact that they had sexual contact with each other when she was a minor, she was in a position to view the defendant engage in sexual activity with Jane Doe number 1. So it is part of her background, and I would say her history is inextricably intertwined with that information is inextricably intertwined with her account of how she knew the defendant, why she was with the defendant when she saw the defendant engage in sexual activity with Jane Doe number 1. After the defendant confirmed that he intended to dispute that he had engaged in sexual activity with Jane Doe number 1 prior to their marriage in August 1994, the court found that the evidence the government sought to admit regarding Jane Doe number 7 was clearly relevant, noting that the defendant could cross-examine her about it, but that such evidence was directly relevant, to the first Racketeering Act. Thereafter, the defendant sought additional time to review the Section 3500 material related to Jane Doe number 7 and submit additional briefing before the court finalizes ruling. The court afforded the defendant such an opportunity. On August 6, 2021, the defendant submitted his supplemental brief regarding the government's motion to admit other acts evidence. See ECF docket number 156 in his supplemental brief. The defendant made no additional arguments specific to the government's arguments for admitting evidence regarding Jane Doe number 7 or the court's intended ruling on the issue. Instead, he simply recited the general principles of evidence, all of which the court was well aware of, when it reached its initial conclusion to allow the government to introduce evidence related to Jane Doe number 7. At the start of trial on August 18, 2021, the court stated that it adhered to my decision that I made at our final pretrial conference on August 3rd, but then reviewed the outstanding and limine motions to ensure it had not forgotten to rule on any of them. Trial transcript at 4. With respect to Jane Doe number 7, the court stated, the first has to do with the alleged sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 7, a minor, in 1991. That was granted only insofar as there is evidence that Jane Doe number 7 witnessed the alleged sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 1. That's admissible for the same reasons that I ruled that evidence about Jane Doe number 1 was admissible. The remaining evidence is not admissible about Jane Doe number 7. The conduct is alleged to have taken place before the enterprise began, so I'm excluding that. Stop right there for a second. Didn't Ann Donnelly say she don't want no he say, she say in her courtroom? Didn't Ann Donnelly say that? No, he say, she say. Hey, Judah. No, he say, she say. And the government's still trying to bring it. The government understood this ruling to be from the ruling initially articulated by the court on August 3rd, 2021, to allow evidence of the sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 7 to be admitted at trial. The government respectfully requests that the court clarify or reconsider its August 18th, 2021 ruling with respect to Jane Doe number 7 to allow her to testify regarding the circumstances of the defendant's sexual abuse of her as a minor. The government currently expects to call Jane Doe number 7 as a witness at trial on Friday, September the 10th. That's this Friday. If permitted to testify regarding her sexual abuse by the defendant, Jane Doe number 7 is expected to testify that in or about 1991, she met the defendant at his apartment in Chicago, Illinois, after a female acquaintance who was also a minor and an aspiring singer invited Jane Doe number 7 to come to the defendant's apartment with her. 2 other minor females also came to the apartment with them. Notably, when the minors arrived at the defendant's apartment, certain of the defendant's associates, including his tour manager Demetrius Smith, were at the apartment. Inside the apartment, the defendant went inside a room and invited each of the minor females into the room ad seriatim. Until they all were inside, the defendant's associate remained outside the room. After Jane Doe number 7 entered the room, the defendant initiated and engaged in sexual intercourse with her. Stop. So you mean to tell me that all 6 of them was in the room, but they only grabbed her? Mechanic will eat her tail alive. That daggone Hollywood Next got me calling him Mechanic. John Canick will eat her alive. But let's finish. Jane Doe number 7 also saw the defendant engage in sexual contact with other minors inside the room. That's he say, she say. You got to prove it. Thereafter, the defendant regularly invited Jane Doe number 7 and the other minors to visit him at his home and at his recording studio. In 1992, Jane Doe number 7 became part of a girl group that traveled with the defendant providing background vocals and dancing. Stop. If you were violated, why would you go on? Why would you be in a group and surrounding him and go on tour with him? Right there. Now, if I can eat that up, you know, Canic going to eat that up. So why? Why? Jane Doe number 7 was still a minor and worked mainly as a background dancer. In this time period, the defendant introduced Jane Doe number 7 to Jane Doe number 1. Stop. So now it's not even making sense. Because first you met him through Aaliyah, and then he introduced you to Aaliyah? Things that make you go, Another minor and inspired singer who the defendant began working with. The defendant indicated to Jane Doe number 1 that Jane Doe number 7 and other members of the girl group were to become Jane Doe number 1's posse and best friends. Subsequently, while traveling as a backup dancer on tour with the defendant along with Jane Doe number 1 and others, Jane Doe number 7 observed the defendant engage in sexual contact with Jane Doe number 1 in a room at the back of his tour bus. Oh my God. So wait, the only girl group that he was grooming was Rashana and them group. And she's older than Rashana, so what? This story is crazy. Okay. Such evidence is necessary background for the inextricably intertwined with the evidence. The evidence the court has permitted Jane Doe number 7 to testify about. Namely, her witnessing the defendant engaged in sexual contact with Jane Doe number 1. The full context of Jane Doe number 7's own interactions with the defendant, including her sexual interactions with him as a minor, and her having previously witnessed sexual acts between the defendant and other minors, is necessary to explain why she was in a position to witness the defendant engaged in a sexual act with Jane Doe number 1, also a minor. Without this context, the jury is likely to be left wondering why Jane Doe number 7, also a minor, was hired as a background dancer for the defendant's tour, and why the defendant was careless enough to engage in such sexual contact with Jane Doe number 1 on a tour bus where Jane Doe number 7 was present. Exactly. Changing faces wasn't a four lady group, and Trinity 5-7 and was a 3 lady group. Changing faces was 2. Rob ain't groomed a four girl group, except for the group that Rashona and was in, and that was 2 guys and 2 girls. The Second Circuit has repeatedly upheld the omission of uncharged act evidence as direct evidence of the charged crimes, where such evidence provides necessary background for context for the charged crimes. See United States versus Gonzalez. Okay. That's case law. That's all case law. And in this respect, trial courts may admit evidence that does not directly establish an element of the offense charged in order to provide background for the events alleged in the indictment. Background evidence may be admitted to show, for example, the circumstances surrounding the events, or to furnish an explanation of the understanding or intent with which certain acts were performed. United States versus Conan. Okay? In addition, the indictment does not allege a particular date on which the enterprise came into existence. That the sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 7 occurred in or about 1991, before the pattern of racketeering alleged in the indictment began, does not automatically render such evidence irrelevant to proving the existence of the racketeering enterprise, while the evidence used to prove the pattern of the racketeering activity and the evidence establishing an enterprise may in particular cases coalesce. The existence of an enterprise is an element distant from the pattern of racketeering activity. Boyle versus United States. That's a case law. Because the existence of the racketeering enterprise is an element distant from the pattern of racketeering activity charged in the indictment, evidence of acts occurring prior to the alleged pattern remain relevant to proving the existence of the enterprise. Okay, so the federal government is extremely reaching, and they trying to prove something. Wait a minute, you in week 3 and you haven't proved the enterprise yet? Something wrong. So let's go here. Here, the sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 7 is relevant to proving the existence of the enterprise prior to the first racketeering act alleged in the indictment, its membership in the early days of its existence, and its means and methods, including relying on minor victims to recruit other minor victims into the defendant's orbit, a means and method that the jury also heard testimony about from Jane Doe number 4. Moreover, the defendant's cross-examination of Demetrius Smith makes clear that the defendant intends to argue that he had no involvement in Racketeering Act 1 and that Smith acted on his own in bribing a state official to obtain a fraudulent ID for Jane Doe number 1. Well, Demetrius Smith even said he did on his own. What are y'all talking about? In essence, arguing that Smith was not a member of the enterprise. The defendant further made clear in his opening statement that he will argue that no racketeering enterprise existed. Facts. And then Jane Doe number 7 testimony about the circumstances of her own sexual abuse by the defendant and her continuing interactions with him is relevant to proving both the existence of the enterprise prior to the conduct alleged in Racketeering Act 1 as well as Smith's membership in the enterprise. Indeed, such evidence, which is expected to include testimony that the defendant engaged in sexual contact with minors while in the same residence with Smith and other members of his inner circle, demonstrates the relationship of trust and loyalty between the defendant and Smith and helps explain why he would confide in Smith regarding the true nature of his relationship with Jane Doe number 1 and his need to marry Jane Doe number 1 as a minor. In addition, Jane Doe number 7's anticipated evidence is also relevant to establishing the existence of the enterprise. Not only was Jane Doe number 7 invited to the defendant's residence for the first time by another minor sexual abuse victim, the defendant also thereafter employed Jane Doe number 7 and other minors and instructed Jane Doe number 7 and other minors to act as Jane Doe number 1's posse while Jane Doe number 1 was away from her home and family, thus using those who he had previously abused and employed to create the conditions that help make the defendant's sexual abuse of Jane Doe number 1 possible. Such evidence is direct evidence of the existence and evolution of the charged enterprise, as well as its means and methods. I'm about to bust this up. As a result, for the reasons set forth herein and in its original motion, and replies to the defendant, initial and supplemental response briefs, the government respectfully requests that the court permit Jane Doe number 7 to testify about the circumstances of the defendant's sexual abuse of her when she was a minor, per the federal government. Now watch me bust this up real quick. Real quick. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to bust this up real quick. And it go a little something like this. And I ain't even can it. But I'm going to do it like this. Before Kim Fox issued that rally cry, was Javante saying she was a victim? When Surviving R. Kelly 1 came out, where was Javante? It wasn't until 2 came out and they did another rally cry, and then she was brought in because she was paid by Lifetime. So with that being said, who are you to come and say that he did anything and try to get anything permitted? That means, now watch this. If Ann Donnelly was smart, she would not allow it. Reason being, but that means she got to pay for Demetrius Smith to come back and cross-examine her. It got to be Demetrius' word against her word, not Robert. And they ain't going to do that. So why should they allow her to testify? Why should they allow her to testify against Robert when she only slept with a member from Public Announcement? I'm lost. Here's where I bust up Oak Cove. Because at the end of the day, if she was such a victim, Javante, where's your police report? You mean to tell me he took 6 of y'all in a room and only picked you? When technically, I'm sorry, you're really not a looker. You're okay, but you're not a looker. So you mean to tell me he took all 6 of y'all in the room and picked you, smashed you in front of everybody, and then smashed Aaliyah in front of you? In the back room of a tour bus. Stop. And we already done heard testimonies that it wasn't the back room on a tour bus. It was an area where they cook hot food at, and the door was only there to prevent people from getting hit with hot food. Make it make sense. I'm just saying, if I can bust this up, you don't want to see them on Friday. I'm going to be honest with you. You don't want to see him. Nah, you don't want to see them on Friday. That's going to be ugly. That's going to be ugly. I wouldn't want to see you do that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because that's going to prove that y'all are nothing but extortionists. And everything that they said. Now, Judah, watch this. For the Cause was Sparkle's group. And Javante was part of that group. So how do you get Rob put you in a group when Sparkle, the one that organized your group? And y'all was supposed to do background for Sparkle, not for Rob. Now, here's the tea. And I don't even drink tea, so I'm going to say aloe. Here's the aloe drink. I'm cool with Marcus Divine. So if you something back up for Aaliyah, why Marcus don't know you? And Marcus was Aaliyah MD. I'll wait. Marcus don't know you. I showed him your picture and everything. Don't know you. So if you sung backup for Aaliyah, how come Marcus Divine don't know you? And he was the main backup singer. And he played as a fill-in when her original members didn't come or didn't make it. What up, Brooke? I got a question. I just want to know. Like, what are you doing over there? What is Oak Cove doing? Are y'all standing by liars? I want to know. This is making me mad because Oak Cove's supposed to stand on truth. Seem like all that truth has went down the drain. And like I say, I'm just trying to figure out something. I just want to let y'all know that I ain't here for no goddamn games. I ain't here for no games. How you sing back up for Aaliyah and don't know Marcus Divine? I'm sorry. That's just like saying you've been rocking with Kels and you've been around Kels every day for the past 5 years, but don't know Will Eady. How the can that happen? Eventually you're going to bump into Will one place or another. I told y'all the worst thing that ever happened at Oak Cove was Larry going to jail. Because can't none of them deal with me. Because I stand on facts. While Larry know how to over-talk and perpetrate words, I bring it all back to fruition. And I told y'all from day one, I keep my opponent in front of me. Ain't no dancing. So Javante, you'll be better off going there and saying Tyson's stalking you and trying to get a federal crime on that versus you saying Robert had sex with you when you had sex with one member of Public Announcement. Now I can call Dre and get Dre to tell the whole story about you. So, I'm lost, Javante. You the same lady that said Robert touched you, right? So how did it go down? Because the paperwork that we just saw, you grabbed 6 people. He grabbed 6 people in there. 6 minors. But he grabbed you and humped on you, and all the minors just stood there. That's not the way how law works. That's not the way how the law of attraction works. Out of 6 people, if none of them are groupies, right? You'll have 2 that'll stay. The rest gonna get the fuck out of there. Excuse my French, but now I'm gonna get now I done got mad. 3 gonna get out of there, and when he in the middle of stroking and them 3 going, he ain't paying attention because he in the middle of stroking. So, which one of R. Kelly's hit you again? Because I believe you mistaken a Public Announcement member for R. Kelly. The way law of attraction work, 6 females is not going to stand there while he grabbed 1. And I'm going to tell you why. 1, jealousy going to kick in. If all 6 of them want to be with him, why is he grabbing you first and not them? So one or 2 things going to happen. They going to walk or they going to stomp you while he's stroking you. Because they want to know why they ain't get picked first. I'm lost. Javante Cunningham. I'm going to call you out. Where you get the story? Sparkle can't help you on that stand. You were a background singer for Sparkle. And Sparkle and Aaliyah look nothing alike. One looked like a smooth Milky Way highway and the other one looked like a crunch bar. A backyard nutty buddy. So how can you get them two mistaken? But you know what? I know what I do. I'll send Canic all of this before I go to bed tonight. And when you go Friday, he'll be sitting like this waiting. That's all. I just don't get it. Y'all would rather lie to try to take this man down versus telling the truth and letting God have his way. Only thing y'all doing is making him powerful. It's making him more powerful. That's all you doing. Because he's looking at everybody. And you see, he's unbothered, unfazed. Only thing that come to mind when I heard that it was, we got bus drivers, we got friends, we got minors, we got people to lie. And I said back then, the same thing I'm going to say now at 11:28 p.m. on 9/6/2021. Just like I told Larry and I looked him in the face through the camera and I said, everything you did is going to backfire. Look at the case. How in the hell can y'all think y'all winning and y'all got destroyed for the last 2.5 weeks? Can somebody make that make sense? But if y'all think y'all winning, just keep doing what y'all doing. Don't change nothing. Nothing. Don't change a thing. Better yet, Oko, why don't y'all go back and join with Team Truth? Because right now, y'all not strong. And I thought this was going to be more of a debate, more of a fight. But yet, I see people that I'm supposed to have been cool with talking behind my back, saying different stuff when they know I'm not around. But then when I'm around, everybody is quiet as church mice. Better yet, this is what I'm hearing. Come on. Y'all said y'all was going to clown all the way through the trial. I've been talking every day. Do I gotta go pick a fight with Angelo? Just for y'all to make some noise? Or do I gotta go over there and challenge Miss Esquire? Because I call her lying too. Or you know what? I'm not going to say she was lying. I'm just going to say from her eyesight, that's what she saw. And if that's the case, I wouldn't want Miss Esquire to represent me. Not unless she just being biased to be funny. Or not unless she being biased just to get a little extra dough rolling in. But she's a lawyer. She's a real lawyer. So why should she have to put on? Which makes me believe that Miss Esquire, and I had one conversation with her and she was pleasant. She was so sweet. But I just have to disagree with what she see. Maybe her oracle is a little cloudy. So, just when y'all thought it was safe, DanaJay still y'all friend. We still cool. But when it comes to Robert, I'm going to destroy y'all ass until y'all say, Dana, you know what? I'm an R. Kelly fan. I'm going to say, I know. I've been new. Y'all just have to play that role. But I don't role play too well. Not unless it's sexual. And when it comes to my friends, I'm all in. I'm AEW. All elite. So I said that to say this. When people come and talking and start yapping, do y'all understand why now I just listen? And no matter what they say, I'll sit and listen. And people be like, Dana, you gotta get them. Shh. You gotta listen. When your opponent speaks, you ain't even supposed to talk much. You're supposed to listen. Because I want to hear exactly what they said. I want to hear exactly what they talking about. So I'm going to go here. Sambo! I need you to come and defend Oak Cove. Y'all should have known I was coming. Your exact words were, Larry, my brother, I believe what he said. You went over there and got rich. So guess what? Us brothers got to talk truth. And I'm going to look with a smile. And at the end of the day, I'm going to love everybody the same. And I'm going to go here.
You want to argue?
No. I don't want that one. I want this one.
See, the devil did. See, the devil won't act stupid. But he got trouble. Lord have mercy on Dr. Bud.
I'm calling everybody out. Everybody. Come and get in the water. Only thing I want to know is this right here.
You wanna?
Only thing I want to know is this right here.
And here we go.
That's it. That's it. I want to know why y'all are coercing these people to get demolished in a state that's not conducive to where they live. That's what I want to know. So I'm calling out everybody over there. Man, Robert Keller keep hitting and missing. And I understand Robert want to cuss. He want to get excited. He want to go, Don't make me come to where you are. Don't make me come to where y'all are. Even though I know it's never going to be an even playing field. A lot of people don't like me because of what I believe in. But guess what? You got 12 that need to say beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, he's guilty. Well, y'all got bus drivers, y'all got victims, y'all got people to lie. Guess what? We got the truth. We got Kanik, we got Nicole, we got Tom, and we got about 12 jurors to have doubt about everything that your accusers are saying. That means what? freedom. Normally, I have O-Code members jumping in here. I have Team Truth members jumping in here. Nobody. Better yet, I'm gonna do one better for them. Let's see who falls out the scrapnel. At the end of the day, personally, I don't got nothing against none of y'all. I only know a couple of y'all personally. But let's go here. For Robert, I stand against all of y'all. And my story ain't never changed. I've been there from day one. What up, Zay? So, in the words of Ric Flair, since I was the first one to do it, and people came in biting, to be a man, you got to beat the man, homie. And right now, I've been the man. Right now, I've been the man. Haven't lost a debate yet. Not one. I might have lost some. I might have lost some battles, but I ain't lose a debate. So, like I say, it is what it is. If y'all want to support DanaJay and help me in my endeavors in New York, go ahead hit the Cash App. Go ahead hit the tip jar at the top of the chat box. If y'all want to support the channel, you go ahead hit the super chat. But I'm going to pound this in y'all head every day. And I'll be back tomorrow all day again, pounding it again with more content. I want to know some things about the military tomorrow. So I'm about to make some people upset. Once again, don't believe fake news. The Taliban have not captured Punjab. The Taliban top leader has been killed. Gone. Finito. But before one of my contents got taken down, I showed y'all something. That Bin Laden is in Pakistan. Now, who's helping the Taliban right now? The Pakistani army. Watch what I tell you. United States going back to Afghanistan. DanaJay told y'all first. I'm up out of here. We praying for Robert. We gone. Love every last one of y'all. Check y'all tomorrow morning. We out of here. Let's go.
What you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass count, gotta make it last now. Start off slow, then I'ma beat it up.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Cause how they tryna play me, yeah. I admit that this is no disrespect to the parents. But this is my advice to you, cause I'm also a parent. Don't push your daughter in my face and tell me that it's okay, cause your agenda is to get paid and get mad when it don't go your way. I know y'all look at me like I don't go through things, but I'm human. I know it's hard sometimes, but try to keep in mind that I'm human. Fuck all the fortune and fame, forget the name, I'm a human. I can't believe all the under the table shit they doing. I'm tired of fingers pointed at me. I'm tired of all this weight on me. I'm tired of everybody want a piece of me. Shit, I'm not an ATM machine. What do I do when I can't do what I do? How can I win if I can't win with truth? Got a couple of dead homies that I promised I would make it out this shit. And I know that God's hands is on me, nigga. I'm gonna make it out this shit. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I claim it. The storm's over. I admit I talked to Miss McLean. FYI, that's my second mother. I admit that I asked her, how am I gonna get the world off my shoulder? She said, son, don't you lose it. Sometimes you gotta go through it. They can say what they say, but at the end of the day, they cannot deny your music. Cause your music has touched people. It inspired all people overseas, everywhere. Don't worry, don't care, cause the anointing is on you. And that's why these haters is at you. So just keep on doing you, baby. You don't have to give these fools an explanation. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. What's the definition of a cult? What's the definition of a sex slave? Go to the dictionary, look it up, let me know, I'll be here waiting. Now I admit I got some girls that love me to pull their hair. And I admit they love me to talk dirty when I pull their hair. Yeah. Some like me to spank them, some like it raining. And what some of these girls want is too much for the radio station. Look, I'm just a man, y'all, not a monster or beast. But I admit there are times when these girls so fine out here that a nigga fall weak. Now I admit I love Hugh Hefner, and through the years supported Hugh Hefner. But when he left this world he had a million girls, but we gon' always love Hugh Hefner. To Jim C, regardless or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again. Off my name, you done went and made yourself a career. But guess what? I pray for you and your family and all my other enemies. I'm not gonna let y'all steal my joy. I'm just gonna keep on doing me. Now I don't know what else to say except I'm so falsely accused. Tell me, how can you judge when you never walked in my shoes? So easy to mess up someone else's life through social media. The devil in disguise. I admit I miss my brothers, but I admit they wasn't acting like brothers. Yeah, we've had our differences, but you don't turn on your brother for nothing, for no one, nada. Mama Joanne is watching, she must be turning over in her grave, yeah. I admit I had to borrow a couple of M's from the label. All these hits out, but I couldn't put food on the table. I was told I had to sell my cars. I was told I couldn't get a loan. Said I owed 20 million to the IRS and they was coming to get my home. I admit I was feeling stupid standing in the Homewood Suites. Disrespect. Sipping Hennessy, trying to figure out what happened to me. There was so much going through my head, cause I knew that something wasn't right. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but my spirit had better eyes. It told me what it saw, and it scared the shit out of me. It said get rid of them all, it's nothing but vultures around me. I admit that I love my fans for all the push and support they've shown. I admit if it wasn't for them, I would've never stayed strong. Now I'm not tripping on all of these rumors that don't bother me. And I'm not paying attention to these haters that don't bother me. But what blows me is when certain people turn phony. They say, Rob, I got your back, Rob, you the man, but they really doubting me. Bitch, you know who you are. Bitch, I bought you a car. Bitch, you stayed in my crib. I loved you with all my heart. Now I don't like to brag when it comes to me, but I've given back to the community, from the non-profits to the charities. But of course you never hear that about me. To them niggas that drink my liquor and smoke my stogies, how come you ain't on Facebook taking up for me when you're around me most of the day? And you know that I'm a good brother, always got your hands out. It ain't no doubt that y'all niggas ain't nothing but blood suckers, cause y'all ain't bringing nothing to the table. Yeah, nigga, you know it's real talk. Taking pictures with me for your Instagram, but when I need you, you quick to get lost. Robert J and Joanne, my kids, what you hearing out here about that? Guys, I'm sorry for this. I'm so sorry, I can't imagine what y'all must be going through. Every day it's something about me, my God, it must be killing you. I promise there'll be better days. Just keep walking straight. I know you must be worried, but just know that I'm okay. For me, things has gotten rough. Right now I can't say too much, but for y'all I will stay tough. Daddy just needs y'all to trust and believe in me. I admit that I've told the truth, and I'm still not free. Still won't hate me, they still won't stone me, still won't chain me. I think they won't kill me. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
No disrespect to Chi-Town, my home, but we've gotta learn how to support our own. I admit that my heart cries for my city, cause we're losing young lives in the city. Instead of judging me, y'all should be using me to help these kids, raise them out of depression and poverty. Now I'm not saying I'm no savior, but I could be an inspiration. This is an invitation. Man, I admit I go through so much day to day. Got 23 lawyers, 3 or 4 managers. What am I doing? Show me the way. The only thing I have left is my voice, and now I have to use it for my protection, because they left me no choice. See, my work has nothing to do with my private life, so stay the fuck out of my business and tend to your own damn life. So go ahead, say what you wanna say about who I wanna date, but you won't say that shit to my face, cause you know it ain't shit to say. Next nigga bring me some dumb shit, it's gonna be a misunderstanding, cause niggas that listen to dumb shit are niggas that